Breaking into the zeitgeist. Okay, and this is all kind of warm up, but go down to where the stats. I go back. Okay, so this person is saying. So here's some significant. I forget what the lead in is to these stats right here, but oh yeah, here we go. Go up to the lead into this. And so she says the existing iteration is manifested in the current global, socio-political, economic. We find it. Here's where we find ourselves today. So, 42. So this is a bunch of what looks like we're out of balance, right? 42 people hold the same wealth as 3.7 billion of the world's poorest. 50% of the world's population, no increase in wealth. 82% of global wealth went to the most wealthy. This is all about imbalance. Lots of people unemployed. 85. This is where it gets a little more interesting. 85% of people who have jobs hate their jobs. Billion and a half people are homeless. 63% of Americans have no emergency savings for even like $1,000 emergency room visit. Lots of people are malnourished. So this is a global perspective. 1 in 9 people lack access. Okay, this is clearly unsustainable. I don't know if I agree with that because it depends on your definition of sustainable. Sometimes. And I'm a big Henry Hazlitt fan, so sometimes you have to let things be destroyed in order for them to be rebuilt. But is that the scope of this person is writing this article about conscious capitalism? Is that the sort of vision that to solve big world problems?
So it's an interesting perspective because it's a point in time with almost no historical context. And so I'm going to try and tear that apart and put some historical context to it.
Yes, please. That would be good.
So between 1760 and 1789, a couple of major things happened. One,
wealth of nations,
and the advent of massive democracies. Right. And so when I look at those two pivotal moments in the world's history, basically wealth was almost linear to population up until that point, and basically static for 1,500 years.
Right. Based on families and
then it
dynasties
exploded.
Yeah.
Now, when I look at exploded, has it benefited the top 1%? Absolutely. But has it benefited everybody else? Absolutely. So if you look at the reduction in racking poverty, these are people living in under $1 a day, under $4 a day. Right? We've reduced that from over 3 billion to under 1 billion in the last 70 years.
Okay.
And so if I look at capitalism as a whole,
that would come as a shock to a lot of people who think that
if you look at all the negative stats,
right,
they'll tell you all the negative things. Like the 50% in the middle that were referenced a little while earlier are the 50% in the middle. The bottom has lifted heavily.
Yeah.
Now, does the top lift more? Yes.
Right.
But capitalism is not about balance. The same way that the American dream in that quote isn't about equality of outcome.
Right.
Right? But that you have a quality of opportunity to your innate ability.
Right. Yes.
Right? Some people are more valuable in what they produce to the world, like a cancer researcher who comes up with a way to solve leukemia is worth more than the person, sweeping a floor. Doesn't mean they're not valuable.
So I want to pause on that because I know what you're saying and I want to make sure that it's not misinterpreted. You're not saying as a human they have more or less worth. You're saying that in terms of what they contribute,
their output to society.
To society, some people have the ability to produce more value in society than other people, right?
And this is where that whole moral and duty thing comes in. Right? There is not a human being on this planet that is not valuable and deserving of love and respect.
Right.
You get into some edge cases.
My mother-in-law, maybe
murders, rape, etc. But let's assume that a normal law-abiding person.
Right.
But then you also have a responsibility to work. And when I say that, it is a personal viewpoint of if I'm not responsible of producing for myself and those around me, I'm kind of a waste of oxygen. If I'm not making my life better and the lives of the people around me better, I'm just consuming resources.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that, but I want to pause on that for a second because it's the old slippery slope.